1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1.
There were a ton of great movies from 2021. I could talk about all of them, but I think most of the list would be a little unbalanced. Like, I could talk about how much I liked Suicide Squad or Space Sweepers, but I'd feel strange putting them on the same list as, say, an Oscar-nominated film, or even just a movie I felt was of greater caliber. So for this video, I decided to narrow it down to just 5. So, deal with it. Alright, number 5 is Dune. Ba-ba-da-ba. Y'all knew this one would be on here. Directed by Denis Villeneuve, starring Timothée Chalamet, Zendaya, Oscar Isaac, Aquaman, Drax from, you know, the galaxy thing. So I read the book first, and when I saw this movie in the theater, I remember thinking, this is taking kind of a long time to get to the end. Then the credits rolled, and I was like, oh, this is just part 1. Got it. There's a bunch of crazy stuff that happens in that second half that they don't even get to, and this movie's still awesome. There's a reason it won 6 Oscars. The book is so strange and interesting that I'm pretty excited to see how some of it translates to the big screen. So yeah, that second movie is gonna be different. Number 4 is Being the Ricardos. This movie surprised me. The story centers around Lucy and Desi behind the scenes of I Love Lucy. The movie is not only about their careers facing a few major obstacles, but also about the couple's relationship. We get a little glimpse into what goes on into the making of an episode of I Love Lucy, and I loved how there were these little scenes where Lucille Ball would give her input into the episode, and it would just be a seemingly small detail, but it would make the episode so much better. Sorkin brings his A game as usual with dialogue and storytelling. If you're an Aaron Sorkin fan like me, you will probably enjoy this one quite a bit. It's a Prime original, so you can catch it there anytime. Definitely check this one out. Next up is Koda. This movie won Best Picture, if anyone was paying attention to the awards at the last half of the Oscars. If you don't know, it's about a young girl who is the only one in her immediate family who wasn't born deaf, and she's sort of burdened as the family translator. Every time they have to talk to anyone outside of the family, they need to talk through her. So it's about her trying to have a life as an individual while also having this heavy obligation to help her family. And ironically, she likes to sing too. I think I would recommend this movie to just about anyone. It's well worth your time and currently streaming on Apple TV+, so go check it out. Next up is Tick, Tick, Boom. I loved this movie. At first I thought it was just gonna be a bunch of pretty actors singing lame generic songs for about 2 hours, but thankfully I was wrong. I've never seen a movie capture what it's like to be a struggling artist so accurately. In the movie, the main character so-and-so. It literally says so-and-so in my script. I am the bah. Oh, Lin-Manuel directed it. Check it out. In the movie, the main character, John Larson, is a playwright working on his next play, which he thinks will be his next big break. The battle he faces isn't only with himself, but also with time. He knows he has what it takes, but he needs to prove that to the world. Meanwhile, artists around him are pumping out shows faster, and time keeps ticking away, hence the name Tick, Tick, Boom. All the while, many of his friends subtly try to push him to be more practical. While struggling to be an artist, the character is tempted to quit for a more comfortable lifestyle. I like that this movie isn't just about the guy that made Rent, but more so what it's like to experience that journey to success, the battle one must fight to get there, and the toll that that journey can take on a person. Me and my run-on sentences. Also, the songs are pretty catchy. 3090 still gets stuck in my head all the time. Okay, I said I wasn't gonna do honorable mentions, but...
How about I do anyway?
I saw a movie last year called The Harder They Fall. This is a Netflix movie about black cowboys, and it's awesome. It has a fantastic cast: Idris Elba, Lakeith Stanfield, Huey Freeman, Regina Spektor, Regina King. It's nothing monumental, but if you like westerns and revenge flicks like I do, you'll probably enjoy this movie. I know I sure did.
And now they're at it again with the Sopranos diaries. It's Tony and the gang like you've never seen them before.
The Many Saints of Newark. Again, this movie wasn't groundbreaking in any way, but as a Sopranos fan, I did enjoy it. I liked a lot of the Easter eggs and the nods to the series.
Your father never had the makings of a varsity athlete.
What is it with you and this obsession with this varsity crap? And when I was a kid, you told the girl cousins the same thing. It was very hurtful.
You don't have the makings of a varsity athlete.
They're driving back from Manhattan with Uncle June and his schoolmarm. And he takes out his gun. Oh my God. Boom! Well, it went right through her beehive hair, dude.
Like most prequels, with the exception of Better Call Saul, it's not quite necessary. David Chase once again portrays characters who would typically be written as bad people as human beings capable of feeling massive guilt. Also showing how misconceptions can be made about people after they die when there is so much unsaid and unknown about the departed's personal life. Yuck. Horrible sentence. Seriously, who writes that?
The Sopranos diaries. Only on the CW.
Okay, so for number one, I think I'm going to go with Willy's Wonderland. Nicolas Cage does some of his best work in this movie. The animatronics were creepy and unsettling, and that's why this is my number one, easily. Top 5, best movie of 2021, Willy's Wonderland. Nick Cage.
Oh, yeah!
No, I'm kidding. Last Duel, definitely The Last Duel. The Last Duel is, in my opinion, the most underrated movie of 2021. It flopped in the box office mostly due to COVID and its failure to reach a younger audience. It was not nominated for a single Oscar. It is currently streaming on HBO Max, and almost everyone I know has never heard of it. This movie freaking rules, but then again, I'm a sucker for cinematic medieval movies, especially ones directed by Ridley Scott. It stars Jodie Comer, Adam Driver, Matt Damon, Ben Affleck. It's about the last trial by combat held in France in 1983, which I'm a little confused by because weren't there like duels and stuff? Didn't Hamilton get shot? There's a lot of sexism and at times terrifying misogyny. Essentially, it's about two noblemen, Legree and Carouge, who used to be good friends, but I'm talking like a robot, who used to be good friends, but drifted apart over time. One day, Carouge's wife tells him that Legree assaulted her while he was away at war, and Carouge challenges his old friend to a trial by combat.
I demand a trial by combat.
Hold on to your hats! You're about to get pounded!
Once again, I'm enticed by a story about perspective. This movie is divided into 3 parts. The first part entails all the events leading up to the duel through the perspective of Jean de Carouge. I think I said that right. The second entails all the events leading up to the duel from the perspective of Jacques Legree. I'm going to butcher these names. The third perspective, which is probably what really happened, is through the eyes of Carouge's wife, Marguerite. Lady Marjorie. I can't speak French, so I'm just going to say Margaret. Because I'm a white trash. I'm just going to spoil this little thing for you, but before each perspective, there's a little title that states the truth as told by, and then the perspective's name. But on Lady Margaret's perspective, it does this really clever and subtle thing. The text fades away, and it just rests on the words, the truth. I thought that was really cool and a subtle way of telling the audience that this is what really happened. By the time the film gets to the duel, it's clear that the two noblemen aren't really fighting for the truth, but rather their own selfish pride. I don't want to give too much away beyond that, so I'll just cut it short for now. I highly recommend this film. You can watch it on HBO Max. It blew me away. It is a bit long, but then again, so is Batman, and I promise you both of those movies are worth it. Thanks for watching. I know this list was a bit short.
Unsubscribe.
There were a few movies on my list that I just didn't have a chance to get to, like The Green Knight or Spencer, but I hopefully can watch those in the near future. I got a few more videos on the way, so stay tuned for those. I also host a podcast called Watch Better Movies, where we talk about underappreciated films that we think deserve more attention. So if you're a film nerd who's into podcasts, you can check that out if you'd like, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.